And you know what? I think that's what 2012 kind of told them. But it was a little too late. I think they had already started to settle. I don't think they really learned that lesson until probably the end of this little pocket of time where they just tried not to panic and not to go back into chaos, because I think that really scared them. And so 2012 was, you know what? Let me settle into this little plan I have about going nice and slow, and because you know what, this is all life has to offer me, you know? This is it. This so let me I want to have an attitude of gratitude. It's like when people take the things that everyone just kind of says out of context, or people have said to them out of context, and they think that that's just the appropriate thing to do. But this is not true. This was a terrible time for them to think about that, because after every downturn, we always have, you know, the upturn, the upside comes, and we see, oh, all that happened for a reason. So for someone to be unaware of that, and this is where I'm saying your 7 years might have maybe sucked here too a little bit. Who knows, right? I don't know. But nowhere near as bad and nowhere near the same things as long as you were awakened here. If you weren't, yes, now you probably are like, honey, am I the DM? No, you're not the DM. You just probably had less understanding of what was going on, and so it seemed like it was more than what it was. Again, not invalidating your experience, but more so helping you understand that just because an energy comes in for the DM and you identify or resonate with it, that doesn't mean that's your energy too, but it may mean that both of you needed to learn the same lesson or needed to receive the same blessing or that kind of thing. So yeah, 2012, this is our halfway point. And in the beginning of the year, we see somebody saying, it's a good thing for me to have an attitude of gratitude about nothing. Because the truth is, they didn't have anything. And I know that's like, come on, Grace, everybody has something. Well, a lot of us know our divine masculines, and it's very common, at least in the Western world, for if we're talking about, you know, cis heteronormative straight woman, straight man, for the woman to have a bunch of stuff and the man to have nothing. It's usually very common. But this is interesting because I'm not talking about stuff like moving in together. I'm talking about what have they created, and the truth is they had created nothing because they were still trying to do what they were trying to do, you know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago at this point. And when you keep trying to do the same thing and everything is just passing you by, you won't ask for help, or, you know, you try to do things under the radar because you're embarrassed or whatever's going on, where the whole world is moving around you and no one seems to notice that you haven't moved an inch, right? And you don't seem to notice it either until you look around and there's skyscrapers all over and you're still trying to, you know, dig to put your foundation down. So the halfway point, this is exactly what they needed. Divine needed them to get to a point where they were so agitated and had spent so much time trying to tell themselves, oh, this is going to sound so familiar, so familiar. Spent so much time trying to tell themselves everything's fine. Be grateful. Don't worry about it. Stop this. Don't, right? But don't be negative or whatever it is. They spent all that time doing that, and Divine was like, perfect. Yeah, keep saying that. Keep sitting in and trying to tell yourself it's roses. Keep doing that, because at some point, you're going to get so fed up that you'll never sit there again. And this is where divine masculine started to experience consequences.